Hey guys, it's Bri. Today I'm going to be showing you how you can make a small bullet hole using some special effects makeup that I buy from Spirit Halloween, as well as some eyeshadow. If you'd like to see how that's done, keep on watching. So first I'm going to take you on a run through of what products I use that I buy from Spirit Halloween. So the first thing is something called scar wax. This can be a little tricky to use, but we're gonna get into that later. The next thing is some good old regular fake blood. This is optional, but I like to use it. It's called Bloody Scab. You definitely want some Spirit gum. This is an adhesive. And no less important to that is the remover. As far as eyeshadow goes, you can use any eyeshadow palette that has a mix of some red and purple tones, maybe a little bit of black. You can kind of play around with bruise colors. We know that bruising has some different colorations to it. It ranges from purples to blues to blacks to even some yellows and green tones. With that said, we're gonna move right into it. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're gonna take some of that scar wax. Now this is a very putty-like consistency, but when you first touch it, it's pretty hard to the touch. So I'm gonna start with a very small amount. Once you soften that up a bit, you can go ahead and roll it into a line. Okay, so that's about 1.5 to 2 inches long. Put that to the side for now, and next we're gonna take that Spirit gum, that cosmetic adhesive, and we are going to put that wherever you plan to put this bullet hole. For me, I'm gonna put it on the back of my hand for now. I'm just doing that because I don't want to have to remove everything from my face later on, but I'm gonna do this on the back of my hand, and I'm gonna take that Spirit gum and I'm gonna put it in a small circle where the shape of that bullet hole is going to go. So I'm just gonna do a small circle. And the trick with Spirit gum is that you need to let it get tacky. So I'm gonna blow on this real quick. And once you let it dry just a little, because it's not gonna dry completely, the trick is to actually tap on it, and you're gonna make it sticky. This is what activates the Spirit gum and makes it stickable. Okay, so now we're gonna take that rolled out line of scar wax that you've made, and we are going to put that around the circle of Spirit gum adhesive that you just placed. Now it should look like this. Now this is where it gets tricky. Scar wax can be hard to blend out. You can use regular old Vaseline to help blend that out. So I just took a little bit of that Vaseline on the back of my nail, and I'm gonna be putting it on the outer edges of that circle. All right, and now I'm just pressing down on the outer edges of that circle, carefully smoothing it out every time I make a pass around. And this might take you a little bit. Take your time with this, be careful. It might actually help if you take the back of a makeup brush and just kind of push down and spin the edges. This is what it should look like, and if you'd like, you can take just a tiny bit more Vaseline and start to smooth out those edges just so they go more seamlessly into your natural skin. So now that we have a base established, I'm going to go ahead and take my foundation and I'm gonna stipple that over that scar wax area so that it blends in with my skin. Don't worry about going inside, because inside of the hole right now, you should just have your regular skin as it is, so you're gonna cover the scar wax and blend out into your real skin. Okay, so don't worry about making it look perfect because we're still going back over that with eyeshadows next. First, I'm going to stipple a bright red shade around the outside, and this is where we're going to make a bruising effect. Just with that red. Now I'm going in using a darker maroon color. I'm focusing this darker maroon color on the inner part of the circle around the bullet hole. Now I'm taking a little bit of a tealish aqua color and just a little tiny bit putting it around the outside edges so it has that older bruise look. You want this to be very minimal. So So you can see that's how little I put on there of that bluish teal color. Go back into that dark maroon shade, and I'm gonna take that and mix it with just a hint of black, and I'm going to fill in the very middle of that circle. It's totally fine if you get it on the outer edges of the scar wax. Now comes the fun part for the fake blood. If all you have is access to regular fake blood, that is totally fine. So right now, what you would do if that's all you have is just fill in that inner circle part of the bullet hole. But you don't want it to be too dripping because fake blood does run, and you can let it drip out of the bullet hole if you want. That could be the effect that you're going for, especially if you're putting it on your face. You might want a little bit dripping down, but I'm just gonna fill it in the middle. You can also dabble just a little bit around where that bullet hole is. Now, if all I had was the fake blood, I would have more blood in the middle than this, but I'm going to be using the bloody scab that we had talked about earlier next. Bloody scab has a jelly-like consistency. And I'm going to put that in the middle. So you want this to be clumpy because it's actually going to add texture to the inside of the bullet hole, which will make it look a little bit more realistic. All right, so this is how mine is looking now after I've added that bloody scab. And the very last thing that I would recommend doing is taking a makeup brush, toothbrush, whatever. You're gonna take whatever brush you have and you're going to splatter it towards that, and it's gonna give it that realistic spatter look. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy. You can totally add more than that if you'd like. You can also lightly stipple fake blood around it. All right, and this is your end result, guys. Again, you can put this anywhere. One of the negatives to scar wax is that it can tend to peel up on the edges, but that's one of the sacrifices that you might need to be willing to make. All right, guys, that's all I have for today. If this was helpful and you liked this video, please click the thumbs up below and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next time. Bye.